All right, welcome, my friends, to the Black Diamond Call for Monday, the 30th of January. January is almost over. I'm excited to be here with you live. This is John Lavenia, and as always, we're going to have fun. Black Diamond Calls are fun. We do this every Monday night for our members here inside the Digital Altitude community, and I think sometimes guests might even be snuck onto this call as well because it's always such a delight. There's absolutely nothing more entertaining you could possibly be doing on a Monday night than listening to people like me run my mouth, and of course my guest host, which we have a spectacular one tonight, in case you were wondering. And so a quick announcement, and then our usual disclaimers, and then we'll get into the meat. And the announcement is that, in case you haven't heard, like maybe you just signed up yesterday or something, welcome, first of all, welcome to you. We are going to be having our first ever Ascend conference that's coming up in Maui, Hawaii. And in fact, if you were here early, just before the call started, we got to hear one of our members has already arrived in Maui more than a month early. But anyway, that's March 8th through 11th in Maui, which is a pretty spectacular place. If you've never been there, I've been there several times. It's really, really something. Even Hawaiians that live on other islands like to go to Maui to take a vacation from their other islands. So anyway, meet us there, March 8th through 11th. How you get there is by registering your Ascend ticket, which registrations are still open for that for another week or so. And so you want to go ahead and get that ticket registered. And of course, if you do not yet have possession of such a ticket, the ticket is for 2 people, by the way. Okay, so if you are lacking possession of such a ticket, you can correct that situation by contacting your coach, and they can assist you in remedying that situation. So there's that, and of course I'll be there with you as well. Can't wait. It's going to be awesome. Now, on to what we're doing tonight. We're doing the Black Diamond Call, and we do this each week where you get to hear from top earners in and around our industry, people who have gotten to the top of their game, people who have reached the summit, so to speak, hence the title Black Diamond. And of course it is ski season, so I know we've got a lot of people traversing Black Diamond trails right now. But metaphorically speaking, on this call we get to hear from people who do such feats of amazingness, and we're going to be bringing out one of those people here tonight. But what you're going to hear on this call is our opinion on stuff. Here's how myself and my co-host, here's how we work our businesses, here's how we run our lives, basically. And we want you to see how you can apply these ideas into your life, into your business, right? It's one thing for me to give you what works for me. It's another thing for you to take it and actually use it and make it work for you. And then you come out here a few months from now, you host a call, right? So this is about transferring leadership and ability to new people, which may be you as you're listening to this right now. If you're new, you are the most important person in the company because you are the future. Having said that, the rules are, it's a buffet. Take what you like and leave the rest. And of course, if we say anything that offends you, you'll get over it. That's just how we roll. Now, on with the show. On with the show. We've got somebody who's just one of my favorite people here inside Digital Altitude. He's a guy who's raised his hand and volunteered his time, not only at our last live event, which was the Marketing Mastery event in Las Vegas, but also here on our call schedule. You've heard from him a few times. You're going to hear from him again tonight. And he's just one of those guys, I just think of him and I smile. You know, him, his beautiful wife, right? His red Ferrari, the whole thing. When you picture this guy, you just picture, here's a happy guy. Here's a guy who's going someplace. He's already been some places too, but he's still going someplace. And of course, I'm talking about Mr. Alfredo Delgado. Alfredo, how are you, brother?
I'm good, man. You can hear me?
I can hear you, man. You sound good. You always sound good. How good do you sound? Pretty damn good. Everybody give Alfredo some love in the chat roll if you're joining us live. Alfredo's here with us.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hey, what are we talking about tonight, Alfredo? You've been on this call before. I remember last time you were talking about team building and some of your strategy and the mindset behind that. I'm not sure where you want to go with this tonight, but it's you're the man. So whatever you want to talk about.
You know what's funny? It's a good thing you asked because I never plan stuff. Never.
We got something in common. Look at that. We both like Italian cars, and we don't pre-plan. I often say I'm always interested to hear what comes out of my mouth because I don't know what it's going to be until I hear it. So this training is for me too. Like whenever I hear myself say something, it's like, wow, that's pretty cool. I should write that down.
Yeah, what's interesting is I work so much better that way because when I plan stuff, it just never comes out the way I plan it to anyway. So why bother, you know? And it's interesting for people who are listening because you guys should always stay and listen to these calls because I don't even know what I'm going to say. I might drop some nuggets that I wasn't even planning to, but it just happens. And that happens on all my calls. As a matter of fact, the people that come to my masterminds once a week can tell you that I'm just that kind of guy, and I work so much better that way. So, well, to sum it up, what I actually want to talk about tonight is actually some business methodology and basically like how this whole thing works and what you guys should be focusing on and really seeing the bigger picture and not be so, narrow-minded. So if that's okay with you, I got some notes I can talk about with that.
You actually have notes. Wow, you're like all organized and stuff. Okay.
yeah. I took a little. My notes are they're like 2 or 3 words. They're just little bullet points to kind of keep my memory on track. But yeah, that's about it. I just really want to help you guys out. And the principles that I talk about on calls and stuff like this is usually, well, it's not usually, it is from personal experience, which is the best. I learn from life itself. I learn from doing things. I learn from messing up. I learn from failing. I learn from doing things right. I learn from masterminds, which is a huge thing. And with that said, I build up education and stuff and, things that I can bring out to you. So that's what I have for tonight. So I hope you guys are excited because, like I said, I don't even know what I'm going to say. I'm just going to get to it.
Beautiful, beautiful. Everybody who's excited, go ahead and share that in the chat roll. And I'm going to be hiding in the weeds over here, Alfredo, so I'll be listening to every word.
Perfect. Any point that I might cut off or anything like that, just please let me know, and I'll have to call back or do whatever it is. I'm calling in from my phone, actually, and I'm watching you guys from the computer. So if you guys could say anything on the chat, I'm looking at it right in front of me. So I see Captain Marvin, I see Tracy, I see Maurice McCann. So I'm looking at you guys, all right? So if anytime you want to shout me out, you're more than welcome to. I see Chris B, Project Apex in the house, David Barina. Cool. You guys are loyal to the game, man. I appreciate that so much. So yeah, I'm on my phone, but I'm watching the chat roll as well. So let's get to it, man. I hope you guys are super, super excited. I'm always, like John said, I'm always raising my hand, and that's when he said that brought a good point. Think of it like this. Like I said, I'm just going to go off the top of my head, but think about it like this. What makes you or anybody different in this industry and business and life period and things like that? And for me, I'm going to tell you my exact experience is that I was always that guy raising my hand. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm trying to say. This goes deep into the way I operate, the way I think. When you have 100 people on the front line, then you got 100 people who are all trying to do the same thing, trying to get ahead, trying to make money, trying to get someone's attention or anything. What is it that you're going to do different than those 100 people? And the thing I do different is I go all out. I step above the line and I raise my hand because I want to get it to the top as soon as possible by any means necessary. So I remember, guys, at one of the first events I ever went to, a company event, I wasn't making any money. I'm being honest. I used whatever I had left, which was hope, to get over to the event. I didn't even have, hotel money and things like that. I just scrounge up whatever I had to make it. And I think David Barino's on this call. He remembers, man. We met way back a few years ago in Chicago. That was actually my first event. And like I said, I wasn't having success yet, but I had a very strong determination to make it happen. So I did whatever I had to do to make it over there. And I had to just meet some of those top earners. I had to know who are the guys that are making it happen in this industry. And I was like a little kid, starstruck. When I see these people, you see them on videos, you see them on capture pages, you see them on the VSLs and stuff. Then you meet them in person. It's like, oh my God, that's the same person. And those are the people that are making $100,000, a year, making 7 figures or whatever they're making, And to me, anything over $10,000 was a lot of money, So I see these people, and I'm like, wow, I get crazy. I start thinking to myself, man, you know, what would it take for me to be in their shoes? I can't imagine my life, you know, like having the source, the income, the stuff that they're having going on right now. I'm over here struggling, and these people are having $10,000 months, $20,000 months. I need to know the secret. I need to know the secret. So, you know, I would raise my hand. I would definitely just go around the event and just make sure I introduce myself to these people. And by doing that, I'm going to tell you guys right now, by doing that, what it did was it made it more realistic for myself, because I realized the more people I talk to, the more people I meet, I'm talking about top earners and things like that, I realized that everybody, they're just normal human beings. They don't have any secrets. They don't have any superpowers. They're not any different from us. They're not any different from you and I. As a matter of fact, as I say that, I'm no different than anybody on this call right now that's listening in. I'm just a normal guy from New York, you know, moved to Pennsylvania, just living a normal life with a family, and I got my dogs in front of me. Like, there's nothing different. I'm going to give you guys some words of encouragement. Guess what? When I open my laptop and power it on, it's the same exact function that everybody here has, where you take your laptop and you turn it on. I have the same internet access that some of you have. I have the same functions, the same keyboard that many of you have. The only thing that makes me different than some people that are on this call that are not having the success yet is time. Okay, I have some time in the game. But what I did was, all right, I used my time wisely. I used my time to learn. I used my time to master the craft. That's it. Like I said, I'm going to give you guys a lot of nuggets. I don't know when they're going to come out. I'm just going to speak off the top of my head, and I really hope and appreciate that you guys get some value, because this is all I love. This is what I love to do. This is what drives my business, is being able to give value to the people so that they can make it to where I'm at or even further. I actually want people to succeed more than me, because then it makes my job easier. You know, so just the more you surround, here's a nugget, guys. Always tend to be the lowest income earner in the room. Always, you got to change your circle, okay? And I notice this a lot. When people are out there trying to do things and they're trying things different, you got to understand you're going to get naysayers. You're going to get people who doubt you, don't believe you, and most likely it's probably people that you are the closest to, friends and family and things like that. And it's okay. It's not your fault. It's typical, and it's because they just don't see it. They don't see what you see. You know, I was doubted when I came back. I remember very, very clearly when I came back from my first event, the same one I'm talking about, that I was dead broke trying to find the secret sauce. You know, when I came back, I had family come pick me up and things like that, and you know, they asked me questions. So, you know, how did it go? I was just, you know, it kind of like making fun of me, like being sarcastic, you know. So, how did the $1 million event go? You know, you can be rich or something like that. And I said, it went great. You know, no, I'm not rich yet. I mean, but it went great. I feel good. You know, I didn't come back with any more money than I left with. I didn't have any superpowers when I came back. I just had a lot of belief, and I saw things differently. You know, I knew that. I saw that. It's hard for any other people that don't understand your vision to see that. And it's okay. You have to understand that most people will doubt you, and that's fine. And it's either one or two things. Either they just don't see themselves being successful, so there's no way that they can see you being successful, okay, or it's because of fear. Or they're going to be scared that you're going to have more success than them, and you're going to prove them wrong. And that's typical. So you have to build your character to be able to face that and say, no, I'm good. I'm going to keep going to the top with or without you. You know what? When I make it there, you're welcome to come. All right. So, you know, the point I'm trying to say is when I came back from the event and they picked me up from the airport and they said, you know, they asked me the question, and of course I didn't come back with $1 million. Of course I didn't come back with, you know, anything different. But they said, it's all BS. You know, I don't know if I could curse in this call, so I'll keep it light. So they said, it's all BS. I said, oh, okay, you know, I guess it is to you, but it's not for me, you know, and I'm going to take this thing wherever it takes me. And that's it. And because of that confidence, and I want you guys to write that down, that C word, that confidence, all right, we're going to go over a couple C words tonight. That confidence will allow you to fight through the fire. It will allow you to take you places that you probably never even thought that you were able to go. And it's a principle. It's actually, you know, the Thomas Edison, that story where his associate was trying so hard to work with him, it was because of that confidence that he said, no matter what it takes, I'm going to work with this dude. And that's the kind of confidence you kind of have. As a matter of fact, I'll be honest with you, some people had that confidence in working with me. And they bugged me, and they bugged me, and they chased me. They said, Alfredo, please, I'm the guy, I'm telling you. I hear this all the time. But they please, trust me, I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to work. Just give me a chance. Just show me some things. Just take some time out. After like 3 or 4 months, I'm like, fine, let's do it, And because of that confidence, because people believe in themselves so much, I don't do anything for them. I just show them what they always had inside of them. And because of that, because of the skills that they already have, and you just help them nurture it, they become 6-figure earners. I have a couple of people that are on their way to become 7-figure earners just by being confident in themselves and doing what they were naturally good at, but just believing that they can make it possible. All right, guys? So, as you hear me talk, I'm not, I do masterminds, I do trainings where are technical, where I teach people how to advertise, I teach people how to market. There's a lot of technical stuff that goes on behind the scenes that you have to know and learn. But as I said before, and I'll say it again, all of that stuff is worthless if you don't have the foundation set right now, on this call right now. If you don't have that foundation set for you, you need to have it, because I can tell you anything and all the secrets and traffic sources, and this is how I do that, and this is how I do that. But if you tell yourself at the end of this call, and you put in the work for about 15, 20 minutes, and you're ready to give up because you feel like it don't work, all right, the problem is not me. The problem is not everything I just taught you. The problem is yourself and your belief. So that has to come first. Your foundation has to come first. All right, and we can go on and on about that, but I'm here to tell you guys, okay, just have that confidence and know, and always think about something. You can even use me as a reference, and I encourage you to use me as a reference. I'm okay with it. You could look at me and say, if this freaking guy can do it, all right, and I'm going to tell you, this guy, and a lot of you know my story already. If this guy from Brooklyn, New York, okay, coming from the hood, never graduated high school. As a matter of fact, I got my GED, never went to college, okay, I was on food stamps, I got 5 kids at home. I actually have 6 kids altogether between me and my wife. We have 6, but one is older. He lives in Florida. I have 5 in the house. The point is, I had every reason to fail. Okay, had every reason to fail. I'm a statistic in this country. My points gather up to this person he's a high qualification to be a failure in life. Okay, and because of all that, I was still able to beat the odds, beat the numbers, and still prove everybody wrong. Just being myself, just doing what I want, just doing what I was meant to do and do a great job at it. So I appreciate when people come on the call, and I love to give value back, because it's more encouraging when I see other people in my eyes that remind me of myself make it to the top. That's what fuels my reason to be here and to talk to you guys, is when I see other people actually taking the things I say, things I do, and implement them in their own life, in their own business, and actually succeed and make it to the top. All right, guys, and I'm gonna start going through my notes a little bit here. Like I said, I go off the top of my head. I know it's already 9:18. I don't know how long we have on this call. I think I have about 45 minutes or so to talk, so I'm just gonna use my time wisely. Just like I said in the beginning, you got to use your time wisely. Just like I took my time out to do this call for you, you guys took your time out to listen in. Okay, so let's go over some things. I really want you guys to focus on the bigger aspect of this whole business. Okay, why we are here. Okay, obviously we are here to make money. That's regardless of the point of what company we're using. That's regardless of what methods we're using or how we're doing it. The object is to get from point A to point B and to make more in the process. So I want you to focus. You need to cut out a lot of the noise that's happening in this industry, that's happening in the world, period. Cut out all the noise and focus on one thing. Okay, so this is obviously after you got your confidence and stuff going on. I mean, if you guys don't have your foundation set, please pick up a book and work on that now. I could recommend a good book for you. It's called The Success Principles by Jack Canfield. It's a very big book. I think it has 300 or 400 pages. And there's a lot of principles that's broken down in chapters where it just fine-tunes your whole personal development. That's it. There's no There's no mechanics in the book. It's nothing about traffic or something. It's just straight you understanding what it takes to be a successful person. So I hope you guys wrote that down. I'll say it one more time. It's called The Success Principles by Jack Canfield. It's a great book. It's a great reference point to understand, and it makes you look at yourself and see if you're on the right path to even being successful. And that's a good way to check on yourself. So once you start going through the book and you go through the chapters, you'll see where you stand, and you'll have a better understanding of what needs to be fixed in order for you to be successful. Because right here, what do we have? This is just a business. This is just a principle. There's nothing to it. We can be successful anywhere in life, but if you don't have those success principles locked down, it doesn't matter if you're here on this call, this company. It doesn't matter if you're doing real estate, if you're doing stocks, if you're doing anything in the world. It's not going to work for you if you don't have those principles locked down. So I definitely recommend you guys pick up that book and give it a go. I used to read a chapter a day and just keep yourself in check. So with that said, I wanted to get back to my point of what you guys need to focus on. And in this business, particularly in this business that we're in right here, the reason why you're on this call is because obviously you're trying to make more money from home. You're trying to run an online business, which is what I use as a way to create income. You need to focus on one thing, which is you need to learn the process and the systems. You need to learn how this whole thing works, okay? Focus on learning the bigger picture. I talk about this a lot with my team on the team calls. And for those who stick to the end, I'm going to invite you personally to our team calls because we're all here, we're all friends. So if that's okay, I'll invite you over to our team calls that we do once a week so you can always chime in and learn more. So my point is, if you learn the process, what does it take to run a successful online business? And I know in this company in particular, they go over a lot of those principles. I want you to be open-minded and understand, look at the bigger picture and understand what it takes to have a successful online business. Okay, I'm going to give you 3 things that it takes to have an successful online business, and that this is very generic and it works kind of in anything you do online. Okay, there's the 3 things, and I mention it all the time. You need traffic. Okay, it's basically traffic. It's just eyeballs, it's visitors, it's people. Okay, you need a good flow of traffic. You need people to see what you got. Once you get that traffic, you need a sales funnel. Okay, and this company in particular, we provide that for you. So you need a sales funnel. You need that traffic to go into a sales funnel or some kind of system, so they can be exposed to what it is you're offering. Okay, they're going to get explained. They're going to watch a video presentation. Okay, they're going to get to know the business or whatever it is that you're showing them. Okay, so you need that. Like I said, we had that for you. Okay, and the last thing that you need is an offer. All right, which is what we have here as well. So we cover the system and we cover the offer. The only thing you need to learn is traffic. Now I'm going to give you guys a golden nugget. All right, once you learn traffic and you learn conversions, okay, you can master anything, and it's proven because I can go right now and take on another offer, add it to my belt, and I'll simply just go crazy with it and master it. And the reason why is because I understand the process. It takes traffic, it takes a sales funnel, a good sales system funnel, and it takes a good offer. So as long as the offer is great and it's making you money, and you got the rest down packed, you're good to go. You can literally, I'm going to tell you guys right now, you can literally print your own checks to yourself. There's no better feeling knowing that you can wake up and literally create your own income online. Okay, no job is going to allow you to do that. Jobs are going to pay you per hour, or maybe they pay you, commission if you do great for the company, but you're never going to be able to wake up and create your own income. Not to mention that these online businesses are 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Right? Now, a lot of people from the job, the corporate world, they work 5 days a week. And I always say, when I do my math, when I'm trying to figure out what it's going to take to make $1 million a year, I count 7 days a week. I count 365 days a year because online businesses work 7 days, not 5. And what we have here and what we teach is how to run those things on autopilot. Okay? But you have to master the process. Okay? If you can master those things, know how to drive, loads of traffic, know how to convert them, know how to basically do your job and let the systems and the office do their job, you can make money anywhere. Okay, so I really want you guys to focus on that and not focus on the things that are not important. All right, if you're on Facebook all day and you're too worried about what everybody has on their news feeds, you're doing the wrong thing. What you should focus on is turn it around and say, well, what could I put on my news feed that's going to give people value? Okay, I talk about this with my team all the time. I said you need to be a value-based marketer. All right, nobody likes to be sold. Nobody likes salesmen. Nobody likes to think about it like this: who wakes up and they just cannot wait for that door to knock and it's a vacuum salesman or something like that, or something like that. Who is dying for that to happen? Nobody. It's the same principle online. All right, nobody wakes up and says, I can't wait for somebody to sell me something. All right, they're searching for help. They're trying to find a way where they can get out of their situation. So when they come across you or your content, your video, your blog, if you're solving their problem because you're giving value in the marketplace, then you don't have to sell. People come to you and they want to be a part of your circle. They want to be a part of your business. They want to know, what are you doing? How can I be a part of it? That's what I have all day. Leads are never a problem for me. I'll tell you that right now. I have too many. I already have 2 people that I hired to handle my leads, and I'm probably going to have to hire more because I have a ridiculous lead flow. So that's another nugget, guys. If you can master your lead flow, which comes from traffic, then you will never have a problem making money in this business. Okay? So learn those things. That's why I'm telling you, learn the process and the systems more importantly than trying to figure out, how they coded the website and how they got this to float across the screen. That doesn't matter. Who cares about that? That's what web programmers are for. Okay? I learned that the hard way. I can't wear every hat in this business. I have to wear the CEO hat. I am the CEO of my marketing company. That's why I need to know and master how to run my business. Okay? Running a business involves workers. It involves hiring the right people to do the right thing for you so your business can operate. I didn't learn that right away. I was like, I didn't understand. I thought I was the guy. I thought I was the chief. I thought I was the CEO, the manager. I thought I was the WordPress guy. I thought I was everything. And that's why I had to go wrong. Okay? Understand the methodology, how this business works, and then figure out who can help you run those parts of your business. Okay, I am not a web programmer. I never become one. That's someone who wants a career or a job. What I'm focusing on is how can I get these people with these skill sets together so they can create this idea that I have, this idea that I'm going to use to generate myself some income. And at the same time, you get to pay these people. You're feeding their families because you're employing them to help you run your business. Do you guys understand that, or am I going a little bit too far-fetched for some of you thinking? I really want you guys to grasp this because this is how I think. Okay, I can put together a system in a week, and it's not me that's doing it. It's the people who have the skill sets that can get the job done that I'm willing to pay and invest to put my idea together to make it come to life that will pay me from here on. Does that make sense? That's actually, if you think about it, that's exactly what we have going on right here. We have a company that has already put together a team of people with high skill sets that understand strategies, that all have their place in their company. They run different departments of this. It was put all together. There was invested a lot of money, a lot of time into putting together this company, this system, so that once they let it go, it's a money-making machine, not only for the people behind the company, but for you guys, the people who are affiliates and who are trying to generate income from this machine. Do you guys understand what I mean? So there's 2 sides of it. You guys can be affiliates and market a great idea that someone has put together. At some point, you want to be that person that creates that idea. You're going to be able to put something in place that's going to pay you every single day. Okay, guys, a lot of people out here are just worried about how they're going to pay their bills tomorrow. They're not worried about what they're going to do in 6 months or a year from now. And it's pretty sad to say. I want you guys to plan for your future. Okay, someone says the call finished. I don't think so. We're good. We're here. You guys can still hear me? I'm watching. I see Steven says the call finished. I'm still here. You guys still here? Give me a couple of yeses if you guys can hear me. I want to make sure we didn't lose it. Cool. All right. So, Steven, you got to check your end, brother. Cool. All right. You guys getting some value? Can I keep going? I still got about a good another 30 minutes, man. What's up, Ed? What's going on? says you're good, you're good. Awesome, cool. All right, guys. So, like I said, back to what I was saying, you guys have something great here. You have a system that's put together. Use it, right? Generate some income for yourself. Get to that first level. Here's the first level. For those who are still working a job, okay, your first level of achievement should be, how can I make enough money from home so I can leave my job? That's one of the struggles that people have because they're torn between their job, because they think it's security, but it's not, and they're torn with time trying to run their business. But you got to understand there has to be a balance, and it's going to take some sacrifice. You guys are going to have sleepless nights. You're going to have time where you're not used to putting into, but you have to do that in the beginning, because what you're doing is you're setting up yourself, all right, so that you can have this machine, this flow, this system, this process that you've established and you've put together. You're about to let it go and have you make money and pay you day in and day out. And then at that point, that's when you can leave that job behind. The best thing I ever did was quit my job, okay? And I can't wait for some of you to tell me the same thing. The best thing I ever did was quit my job. I have a good friend and a student of mine, business partner, that had that. He was torn between his job that was paying him about $200 a week and putting time into his business so he can make more than the $250 a week, which he already had the skills to do it. But the time he was using at his job to make someone else more money was killing his time to put in his own business. Once he let go of that job, he was able to put more time into his business, and now he's generating 6 figures a year. So from $250 a week or so, something like that, to 6 figures a week, we're going to be earning 7 figures. That's a big turnaround in life. And that's exactly what happened to me. The most I ever made was $20,000 a year in my business, and not in my business. I'm sorry, I'm so used to saying business now. In my job, okay. So I was stuck between, well, am I going to work the rest of my life making $20,000 a year, which is not enough to do anything? I mean, I couldn't do anything with that kind of money, especially when you have 5 kids. There was nothing I could have done in life. So I knew for a fact that it was a guaranteed loss if I was to stay there and continue that cycle. So what am I really risking? What am I really, quote unquote, losing if I don't take risk and join an opportunity or be part of something greater or bigger? I mean, you guys, am I losing you guys? Am I making sense? I'm preaching here tonight. I'm telling you, I'm looking up right now at the ceiling. I'm not looking at any notes. I'm just looking at my own life and putting it in perspective so you guys can understand how I operate and how I think and how it's got me from poverty to $20,000 a year, the most I've ever made with horrible credit, to earning 7 figures from home. Most of the time I'm just in my bedroom with my laptop, having an Italian car, having a 60-foot pool in my back of my house, in ground that I had built, going on trips. As a matter of fact, I'll be in Hawaii, having multiple properties right now. I don't have one. I have multiple properties. I'm generating different income streams. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, how can I go from one extreme to the next? And I'm telling you guys what it took. I had to make the decision to let go of that thing that was taking up most of my time and not giving me the results, not only that I wanted, but that I would never, ever achieve. So you guys have to look at yourself, look at your own life, because everybody's life right now, everybody's life, lifestyle, whatever, is different than mine. But look at where most of your time is being spent, okay, and think about it. Is that something that's going to change your life forever? Or do I have to make some changes so I can create the life that I really want? Okay, I'm only in my 30s and I'm retired physically from ever having to work for someone. That's a great, great feeling. Don't ever compare your results with mine. Just like I can't compare myself with someone who's 21, 22, who's already doing what I should have been doing. It's just, it was a different time for everyone. It's a different time. My time is different than yours. You could be 50, you could be 40, you could be 18 on this call right now. Your time is different than mine. But the sooner you learn what I'm saying, the better you're going to be in a couple of years from now. It doesn't matter how old you are. You just came across this opportunity, what I'm telling you, you just came across it at a different time in your life. And it's okay. It's never too late, all right, to make change. It only took me 4 years to get where I'm at. That's not a long time. 4 years at your job will probably just get you a small raise every year, if you don't get fired or, job cuts or something like that. You never know with this world. So Just think about what I'm telling you, where you're going to be in 4 years from now, 2 years from now, or wherever, however long it takes you to open and realize the truth, okay, and make a difference in yourself. Remember what I said. The main thing is build up your foundation, your inner core, your personal development, because that will be your fuel to making this happen. That will allow you to fight through the failures, through the trials and tribulations, because you're going to fail. You're going to do things wrong. And I have to tell you that look forward to that. As silly as it sounds, look forward to those things happening, because that means you're on the right path. Because if you never try, if you never fail, you can guarantee that you're not going to at least learn in the process to get to the next level. Right? There's no such thing as safe. Playing it safe doesn't cut it anymore. You got to take risks. You got to go out there and make things happen. So it's a good thing. If you try something, if you're trying your first, your first campaign, your Facebook ad, or whatever it is, you send out an email and whoops, you sent out the wrong email, whatever it takes, it's good. It's good that you mess up. Don't beat yourself in the head, okay, because you're one step ahead of the person who didn't even try to do it in the first place. Okay, guys, so that's how I think. That's how I operate. Like I said, I let go of the one thing that was taking up the most time in my life and not giving me the results that I needed, which was my job, and put all my time and energy into build up my business. And I literally started with my first $25 a day earning. I'm talking seriously. I would earn $25 a day, and for me, that was a victory. As silly as it sounds, you're like, well, we don't come online to make $25 a day. That's not life-changing. That's not going to make more than my job. I get it, and I knew that too. But it's a place that we all start from. We all start from ground zero. I didn't come into this business as a rock star internet marketer. I had no idea what I was doing. But I'm doing everything I just told you. I went through the failures. I went through the pain points. I went through sleepless nights. I've gone on trips. I've lost money. I've done everything that you can think of that give people a reason to give up and fail. And I didn't. I just kept going. And I literally hit one point in my business where I said, if I don't make this happen right now, I'm done. I got to that point. So if you guys ever in business and you feel like I'm at that point right now, and if I don't make something happen, I'm done, I want you guys to be excited, because that's the point, and that was the time where everything turned around, and it happened at the snap of a finger, because I just kept going. Remember, it gets lonely at the top. So the more people that quit, give up, don't do what's necessary, it just leaves more room for you to make it to the top. I want you to be that person that oversees all that stuff, because it's going to happen. But it's okay. Be excited about it. Even when people hit their lowest point in life, I said, you should be happy right now. They look at me like you're crazy. I said, I'm not crazy. I'm telling you. Once you hit your lowest point, there's no lower to go, man. The only way you can go from here is up. So what are you going to do? You're going to leave yourself at the lowest point, or you're going to figure out how to get yourself out of this rut and make it to the top? So it's good. It's good to mess up. It's good to fail. It's good to feel low. It's good to be broke sometimes, because that's what gives us the opportunity and the decision-making to change and become better people, and so we don't end up in those positions ever again. It was really great. Look, as someone says, I'm really down to $169 in my bank account, and it was well invested. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I don't care what it takes. You could be at your lowest point and understand and be happy and say, man, I'll always remember what Alfredo said, and this is the greatest point to be in my life, because from here on, it's going to be up. And you could literally walk around with a smile on your face and know that it's only going to get better. But you have to have that implanted in your head and believe it, so that way your mind will continue to tell yourself it's going to be better, it's going to be better, and your subconscious will do nothing other than find the solutions to make things better. It will put people in front of you. It will attract other people in your lives and open doors that you never thought were there, because you are seeking for success. You are seeking for a solution. You are trying to find a way out. You're not sitting there telling yourself, this is it, I'm done. Okay, it's sad for many people who just give up on themselves. Opportunity not going to come knocking on those doors for those people. You have to go out there and get it. So if that's you, if you feel like you're at your lowest point ever, be excited, because you know that the only way you can do it is the only thing that's going to happen is you're going to go up. And if you're on this call, you're definitely in a good spot. So give yourself some credit. Say, I made it to this call, and one day you're going to remember what I said on this call, because I could tell you right now that I was that person listening to other people just like myself at that point. They were at the top of their career. And I sat there on my floor in Brooklyn with a headset, with a broken headset on an office desk laptop. I mean, I'm not even a laptop. It was something that we quote unquote borrowed from one of our offices. I didn't have a computer, and I used to sit there and listen and take notes with a little notebook and envision myself. And these are people that were doing like $10,000 a month driving BMWs. And can you imagine myself? I'm broke on the living room floor because we didn't have a sofa. Had no car, no money, nothing. And all I said to myself, man, what a great life that person has. If only I had $10,000 right now in my hand, what would I do? It would change everything in my life. I would pay this bill. I would take care of this credit. I would go get my driver license back. I would do everything to get my life on track. That's how bad it was. But I was just like the person I'm telling you the other time. I was sitting on the floor listening and knowing. I said, man, I can't wait till I hit that point one day. I can't wait till that day happens. And I'm telling you this because I want you guys to be excited and understand that it will come. You look forward to it. You're in the right place at the right time. Look forward to these things. This is all about how you see yourself. How do you see yourself in the mirror? You know, I posted something on Facebook earlier. I said the only person that you should be looking at is yourself in the mirror. How do you see yourself? It was a picture of a cat, and in the mirror they saw a lion. Think about that. How do you see yourself? Do you look at your face? Do you see yourself and do you see yourself as a failure? Do you doubt yourself? Or do you see yourself as one of the most important people in your life? Just you. You just see yourself as a rock star, a success. You're going to be on stage. You're going to be at the top of your game one day. You don't know when. You don't know how, but it's going to happen. Because I'm telling you, I was that guy. I was that guy when I had a vision board and I had a picture of a stage. It was an empty stage. And I put a picture and I pointed at it. I said, one day I'm going to be on stage. I had a picture of a black and white car. Not a black and white car, it was two cars. One was black, one was white. I remember it very clear. One was a Jaguar because it was one of my favorite cars, and the other one was like a black BMW 645. I cut them out, printed them and cut them out and put them on my vision board. And this is how important what I'm telling you is. And it's funny because this call totally went somewhere different, but it's okay. If you guys are appreciating it, I keep talking because I'm telling you, this is really where it comes from. We could talk about traffic and all stuff, but you can learn that anywhere. I'm being honest. You could go to Google and learn that stuff. That's not an issue, okay? The biggest issue is yourself, and that's something that you have to, hear from people like myself and other people that were from the bottom. This is the greatest experience to share with you. Is how I went from A to Z. You understand, you guys, how I went from struggling broke to making it to where I'm at. These are the greatest people, like myself, like others that have had the same similar story that you can listen from, because they're the ones who actually did something, figured it out. You understand what I mean? So this is really where you need to be at. I'm telling you guys right now. So my vision board was so important to me because I had the picture on stage. Right? It was empty. It was an empty stage. It was just big. It looked like a little cathedral or something. It was very nice looking stage. And then there was two cars, one black, one white, and I had a picture of the Disney and the plane tickets or whatever, like the ridiculous amount it was going to cost us to get there because we traveled so deep. And I had those on a vision board. And can I tell you guys how powerful it is to be confident and to be so focused on where you're going, not where you're at? Okay? That everything on that board came to light. Everything. From making $5,000 a month to making $10,000 to making up to $100,000 in a single month. Everything that I've ever envisioned came to light from that vision board, from me putting those images in my head. Okay, I'm telling you. Let me tell you what happened. Not only did I actually get a chance to speak on stage once, but I think up to this point I've been on stage 3 or 4 times. Right, recently in the Vegas event with this company, and I'm so happy about it because I love it. I love it because it just edifies myself. It lets me know that whatever I had my mind set to, it happened. Okay, I envisioned having 2 cars, one black, one white. It was like a time BMW's always been one of my favorite cars, and I loved the Jaguar at the time. I think it was the F series or something. It wasn't even that expensive, but I have it. So imagine if I can drive around on Jaguar, I'm like the man. I'm talking about someone who had a broken up car where the door was bent in. I mean, so yeah, anything like that was a step up for me. And here's the deal: not only did I get 2 cars, I'm telling you how amazing this is. I had 2 cars, one black, one white. It was real. It was in front of my house. I had a black Mercedes convertible. Okay, so I didn't get the BMW, but I was pretty close. I had a Mercedes convertible because the car that I envisioned was a 645 convertible. I had a Mercedes convertible. I actually went to the dealer and bought it with cash money. Okay, it was the greatest feeling in the world. And right behind it, I had a BMW M5, one of my other favorite cars. So it wasn't a Jaguar, but it was a white BMW M5, and I owned them both at the same time. Look how powerful that is. Now let's talk about if anybody here has kids and stuff like that. I have a lot of kids, so let's talk about Disney. Okay, this is how powerful this way of thinking is, and I want you guys to leave this call tonight with some of this, what I'm telling you. Not only did we actually go to Disney, we actually drove 2 cars. We drove a truck that I had bought after that, a family truck that fit all of us, and I had the Mercedes convertible. We drove both cars to Florida because we realized that it was a little cheaper just to drive out there as a family than trying to take everybody on a plane. Listen to this. We made it to Disney. We made it to, I don't know how, but I was able to afford to take the whole family to Disney. All the kids, my wife, we even had some extra people come along and meet us out there. Check this out. I didn't only go to Disney, but we hit every single park in Orlando, all paid for, okay, from this business, from this online business that you are looking at right now. We went to Universal Studios. We went to Disney. We went to SeaWorld twice, Legoland. It was another park, Wet and Wild. We did the week season pass for Wet and Wild. We went out to eat. We drove around. We didn't stay at a hotel. We had a whole house. We had rented a whole house. As a matter of fact, and we even had people, other marketers in the area, come by, and we did a little mastermind, and we hung out. All right? We had a house rented for a whole month. So what I just want you to envision that, because if that's you, okay, and you're listening to this call, if you're the one that you have a family and you want to give them these things, or you want to get yourself a nicer car, or you want to be able to quit your job and tell your boss, goodbye, I'm gone forever, this is for you, because this is everything that I went through. Everything. And I failed, and I lost money. I was down, and I was so close to giving up and just going for a job. At that point, everything turned around. So now I shake hands with company owners. I get on the phone with CEOs. I have millionaires on my phone book that I can call at any point and talk to. And another thing I'm going to tell you guys, change your circle, man. Change your circle. Look at your Rolodex. Look at your phone book. And just think of all the people that you can call on that phone. And think about all the people who are just not the ones that you should be communicating with. Start putting people like myself in your phone book, Start really changing your circle. Okay, change your influence. Always look for people who got it better than you so that you can learn how they did it. Okay? And leave everyone else behind. Not in a bad way, but just listen, if they're not going with you, they're against you. So you got moves to make. You got a race to finish. You have to do something about it. Get yourself to the top. And you know what? Your friends, your family, the people that doubted you, people that still want to hang out in the streets or do whatever they're doing or keep going to the parties and wasting their life and drinking at the club, not doing anything with their life, if they want to continue what they're doing, that's fine. That's their choice. But you have a choice right here, right now, okay, to be someone better and make a difference, and not only for you, but for your kids, for the kids that you're going to have, for the kids that you already have, that they're going to have kids. You got to leave something behind for them. It's so hard. It's so horrible with all these people out there that don't even have money in their bank. They got no savings account. They don't have a house. They don't have nothing going on for themselves. And you know what's sad about it is that they accept it. They're like, no, this is it. I'll just, with the government assistance, they pay half my rent. They cover my food. What do I need to do? I'm taken care of. They accept it. That's it. That's life. And you know what I tell you? If this is you, all right? And you may be in a position where you need help from the government. Maybe you're looking forward to a tax refund. I was too, because that's all I had. Maybe you're collecting, food stamps or getting assistance. It's okay, because I did it too. So hey, we could shake hands on that. I understand where you're coming from. But here's the difference. Are you going to accept it as your life, your lifestyle? Is that it? Is that where it ends for you? Or are you going to tell yourself, this is temporary? This is a temporary defeat that's going to open the doors of something greater. And I say, you know what? I need this right now. But this is temporary. And one day I'm going to get off this thing. One day I'm going to not need assistance anymore. Give it to someone who needs it, because I'm working my way to the top. Can you believe I was the same guy in the same exact shoes where I voluntarily gave up food stamps? And I didn't even have money like that. But it was the mindset. It was to know that there's no way I can tell myself I'm going to be a six-figure earner. Meanwhile, I'm still relying on food stamps to help feed my family. So let me repeat myself. I wasn't making that money yet. I used to get $1,200 a month in food stamps. You know how much money you know how much food that buys for us? I voluntarily gave that up, just like I gave up my job, because it was a mental barrier saying there's no way I can tell myself that I'm going to succeed. Meanwhile, I'm still telling myself that I need these food stamps in order to feed my family. It just didn't make sense. Do you understand what I mean? If you guys, I'm looking at the word, so you guys understand where I'm coming from. Type in amen. Type something, because this is powerful thinking right there. Where it came time to renew. It's a 6-month thing, man. You got to renew your qualifications for food stamps, right? And I said, listen, after this renewal is up, after the term is up, I'm not renewing. So we're going to have no choice but to make it work. And that was the same exact attitude I had when I quit my job. I didn't have money back then. I wasn't making money online. I didn't even know what I was doing when I quit my job. But I gave myself no other option. And the reason why I did that is because there's no way I could tell myself I want to do this, meanwhile I'm still relying on this to get me by. It doesn't work, and it doesn't make sense to me. I put everything I had against the wall. I put my back against the wall, and I said, I'm going to give myself no choice but to make this work, because our family needs to eat, and if we're not getting food stamps next month, we are SOL. So I have no choice but to make it work. And that made me grind harder and get myself the results I needed. You understand? And you know what a great feeling it is to know that we don't have to turn back and look at those things, that we could afford to do the things and give the kids the life that they deserve because we laid it out for them. I feel so great and so empowered to know that I'm leaving behind not only an opportunity for my children, but a legacy behind where my name means something. I changed the way our family tree, our I don't know what you call it, like the way the pattern of the family was going. I literally stopped it right here in this generation and changed it forever. You guys see the bigger, like, do you understand that? Like, our family, we don't come from a rich family. No one in our family is wealthy. We don't have we're not broke. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and throw Delgados under the bus. We're hard workers. But we've always been hard workers. No one has ever made it to 7 or 8 figures or made it to leave a statement. And I'm here telling you that in this generation right now, where I'm standing, I drew the line. I separated from what it should be for our family to what it's going to be from here on. And now my kids understand that concept. I have my kids working for me. They come home from school and they have their assignment. They said they help me put together some stuff in CSV files, and they make their little money, and they're happy to do it. And they're learning, and they understand the things that I did to make this change in our generation that's going to forever affect my kids, their kids, and their kids, because I'm leaving behind a new name, a new statement for Delgados. You guys understand? Like, you see how crazy that is? Imagine that. And that you have the ability, right? And you, the person listening to this call, you have the ability to do that. And again, let me reiterate where I came from so you understand. Right? I'm from Brooklyn, a high school dropout. I have to tell you that because you have to put yourself in my shoes and say, if this, Joe Schmo can do it, I can do it. Okay? I literally was broke, food stamps, everything I could tell you, bad credit, no credit. I sound like the commercial. Bad credit, no credit, we got you. I was that person. I didn't have a driver's license. I drove for 12 years without a driver's license, getting arrested every 6 months. for having a revoked license and stuff like that. The judge got tired of seeing me. He says, you don't learn any lesson. Next time you come in here, we're going to give you time because you're still driving no matter how many times you get caught. I was that guy. Okay, so I'm here to remind you that if I can, find a way to get past all of that and still be where I'm at right now, you guys can do it. So that's my words of encouragement. I'm telling you, think bigger. And see, now where I took you guys to a whole other realm right now, whereas we're here talking about an online business, and we got way into leaving behind legacies and stuff, because what we're doing is we're using these businesses, these principles as vehicles to help us get to the top. I use the money I make online to help me get into other places, as in investing in other places, so I can have that for my children. I can have that where I want to own so many properties that they don't even never have to worry about that. They can manage the business. They can do all kinds of things, and I'm just teaching them these principles so they can apply in for their kids and stuff like that. So, man, I just went way off, but you guys, do you guys get some value from this call so far? I mean, just type in. I'm looking at the chat roll right now. Just type in amen. Just do something. Just let me know you guys feel me on this. Absolutely. Yes. Cool. Amen. That's just me, and it's funny because I looked at all the names, and it's the same people that come to all the masterminds. Okay, they show up. They're part of my team. They either follow me on Facebook or they're in my groups, and they're here right now still being loyal to the game and listening to this call right now. It's so important. I commend you guys for taking time out to do this. The more you get to know me, the more you get to understand the dynamics and stuff, the more success you're going to have. I love it. So, John, you still there, man?
I'm here. Alfredo, cool, man, I am so damn inspired just listening to this. Yeah, I had heard a bit about your story, but I didn't quite grasp the depths from which you've risen, man. That is very inspirational. Thank you. Because, I've been, I grew up on the streets of New Jersey. You were in Brooklyn. I was across the river over there in Jersey. But I can tell you that it's been a long time, right? It's been a long time since I was running the streets of New Jersey, So sometimes I need a reminder, or I could use a reminder of how far we've actually come. And it's all because, if I could sum up everything that you were just talking about here, it's how bad do you want it? Isn't that like the biggest question? How bad do you want it? That's what's coming up for me. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a battle within ourselves, and that's really it. It's how bad you want it. I see some people that said they were crying on this call. I mean, that's great. You need to. It's okay. Like, break that. Break that that feeling, that whatever it is inside. You guys sometimes, and I'm telling you right now, even myself, even to this day, I still need once in a while. I need to be broken, because we hit certain points in our life where we're trying to get to the next level, and we have to kind of break ourselves, like you have to go through it hard. You need to hear it hard from whoever, from wherever. You need that tough love to break, whatever it is you're going through, and then head on to the next chapter. I need that. And, another way, and I'm going to tell you guys, is a great balance of life. And it's hard. It's hard to do. Your life is like a pizza pie. You have to have little pieces everywhere. You have to have your health. You got to have your wealth. You got to have, time for your family. You got to have, time for yourself. You got to have spirituality. And one of those things is having to be able to balance all of that so you can have a whole holistic life going on. It can't be all forced into one thing where some people just think it's all this, is all this, is all that, but then you forget about the other things in life. And that creates an unhealthy balance. So I don't want to get too into the whole biblical thing, because, I have to respect some people's religions on this call, but, I look forward, and I said I need to go to church. I need to, and it's not about the actual church. Don't think just because you go to church, you're all of a sudden you're holy. That's bullcrap. That's not how it works. Okay, it's really about you. You're gonna go in there because you think you owe them something and you have to see face, or you actually going there because you want you want that spiritual help so you can have a cleaner lifestyle. It's all the same. Okay, you don't go to business meetings just to show up. You go there because you want what they're giving. So it's the same thing. I look forward to going into a church because I need that balance. I need to get rooted and to understand, the principles of who we are, why we're doing certain things. We can't let the stuff of the earth get too much to us. We can't let it consume us. We have to think bigger. All right, so I don't want, that's a whole different call right there. I don't want to get crazy, but it's really amazing. But I always feel like I'm at the right place at the right time. I'm meant to be certain places because, just to let you know, I actually love going to the community church. We just met, the pastor came to my house. We just met. We just became, great friends. And let me tell you something. Aside from that, I helped them get their church to another level because I introduced them to how they could take their sermons and put it online and get so many more viewers, so many more attendees to the church. So it's like we learn this stuff, but we impact others throughout our path. And it's amazing because now, like I said, I'm really good at Facebook. That's my specialty as far as traffic and running my business. And I actually had the opportunity to take my time to help this church out that didn't have any of this going on. They had a Facebook fan page with like 1,500 likes. Now they have over 30,000 likes. Some of their posts reach hundreds of thousands of people. And it's because of the stuff that I learned here that I'm telling you right now that I was able to affect other people in my life. So it's crazy. Like, whoever thought that you would do that, You never know what's going to come across your life, and you're going to help someone, and you're going to change everything about that person, their life, whatever it is, whatever they got going on, and it's because of you. So, guys, it's a crazy feeling. I love it, man. I'm so happy right now.
Yeah, I had an experience recently with one of the students that I've had the honor to coach here inside Digital Altitude. And like all new members, he came here to learn about making money online and such, and wound up doing a business plan. And this guy is telling me about like some serious effect that the principles that that we share and that we discuss here inside Digital Altitude and like on calls like this, how this has really affected his life and his thinking and his direction and his self-belief. And he was here to learn how to make a few dollars, right? And next thing you know, we're talking about a whole new person. That's profound, I think. And that was my experience too. When I came into this industry, I just wanted to reach some goals, make some significant income. My life's never been the same. And for people who know my story, that started in 2002 is when I finally became successful in all this. But yeah, it's about who we become, and then of course the fruits of that. Well, the fruits just follow, right? It's all about who we become and then what we do and then what we have. So, Alfredo, thank you so much. I know we already ran over an hour. We did the same thing last week. We had our buddy Eli out here, and he ran for an hour straight. And I was like, all right, well, you know what? Let's wrap it up with that. We'll do Q&A another week. So I already promised that we're going to have an open Q&A tonight. So we're going to do that, and we're just going to take a few callers, if that's okay with you, Alfredo. You want to do that?
Sure. Yeah,
Okay.
That's fine. I'm good.
So we're going to do a brief Q&A interaction here. We're just going to take a few callers. Please, no questions about tech support and things, problems that we can't solve. I can't solve those problems. Okay, we do have a help desk, and that's their job is to solve those problems. But if you can keep it on topic and keep it brief, we'll share the title, take a few callers. Give me just 1 second, and we'll go ahead and get this into Q&A. And Q&A session has started. You can, if you're dialing in with a phone, you can click *6, and that will unmute your line. Or if you're on the freeconferencecall.com app, you can click your mute button to raise your hand. Either way, we're going to go to our first caller here, which is Daniel Rios. Daniel, you're live on the air. Hello, sir.
Hey, guys, can you hear me?
We can.
Hey, I just want to make a quick statement more than just a question. I met Alfredo a couple years ago, and a lot of the guys know this. They're all my team freedom fighters. But just hitting the goal of Hawaii, man, I was just actually talking to my son before he went to bed. And I want to thank Alfredo for the guys who don't know him very well. Alfredo is a very powerful person in a sense that he's a true motivator because he's so humble. And I thank God every day, man, that I've bumped into Alfredo because, to be honest with the people that don't know me, I was ready to quit Digital Altitude because of just some bad experiences I had with other people in the system. But once again, man, I'm crushing goals just because I've absorbed the mindset of Alfredo, man. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart, brother. I mean, we talk on a personal level all the time, bro. But I just always want to express my gratitude when I'm around you, bro. You've made me a better person, and I really appreciate you.
Oh, man, man, it's all good. I love what I do, and I'm glad that more people like you are actually taking this stuff to heart and doing something with it. So I appreciate you, man. I look forward to hanging out with you in Hawaii, man. Definitely, for sure.
All right. Thank you, Daniel. Awesome stuff. And we're going to go next to what looks like Timothy Henson. Timothy, you're live on the air.
Yeah, this is Timothy Henson. I have a question about that triangle thing. Michael Force talked about trying to get something out there to sell, and then add the accessories, and you make more commission off the accessories. And my question is, what is it to get down to the bottom of the triangle to make what you really want to make? Is that in your mindset, or is it, what is the explanation of it? Really what I'm looking for.
Now, John, you want to take that, or maybe I'll
Well, I think, Timothy, what you're asking about is the use of an ascension model, and where Michael has cited some examples. For example, Apple, people come in for an iPod, next thing you know, here's the iPhone, here's the iPad, here's the MacBook Pro, here's the iMac, here's the, the cases, the chargers, the headsets, right? So you came in for an iPod, and you're into them for $10,000 now, right? So is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's it. You add on money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's just the nature of ascension models and repeat business. And so, how does that relate to mindset? Alfredo, maybe you could address that briefly, but I would just say that think with the end in mind. That's how it relates to mindset. As you're putting together your own personal brands, and of course you've got a business in a box right here with Digital Altitude. You've got an offer, you've got an ascension model, you've got a continuity program, you've got an incentive program with the cars, and you've got an affiliate contest. And there's so many ways to make money here besides just having people get started in the Aspire system. So a lot of that's already done for you, but you've got to engage with that, right? If it's the same opportunity that Alfredo uses to make a lot of money, now you've got to use it to make a lot of money, and that's based on how you apply yourself. So Alfredo, anything you would add to that concept?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, there's two things, and you kind of said it real good, is that this is what I really love, is that we all have the same business in the box in front of us. It goes back to how I started this call when I said, when I power up my laptop, it's the same way as anybody else would power their laptop, unless they have something other function that I don't know about. But I open up my laptop, like with my two hands, I open it, I power it up, and when I log into, my back office with DA, it's the same exact login that you guys have. It's the same. Everything, all the functionality is the same. I don't have anything different. Any of the top runners don't have anything different. And no, there's no special functions we have that you guys don't. It's just that we apply it, and we apply it the way it's supposed to be. And that goes, again, to the beginning of the call when I said if you guys just focus on learning the system and the process, then applying this business in a box to that system and process, it'll work for you. You'll have it work for you. And as far as the ascension model, if I applied it, when I thought about ascension, I applied it to my personal life, was personal goals, where I was like, okay, my first goal is to get out of this job. So like John said, I had the end goal already in mind, which was, well, I want to make $1 million, But in the beginning, it seemed so far-fetched. I'm like, how the hell, is that crazy? Can I really do that in life? Can I really go from scrapping to $1 million? How do people do it? That's so much money. How do you do it? But I had the end goal in mind. So what I was able to do is create my own ascension ladder, if you sort of say, in life, which I took the steps, the first initial steps to get to the next point. From that point, I was able to get to the next point. The next point, so it was an ascension ladder where I figured out how to, quit my job and make enough money to stay home. Then I figured out how to make 6 figures. Then I figured out how to do this and get 7 figures. And I figured out, now I'm at a point this year, particularly in my life, where I'm putting together other systems for people so that they can help, take my income to another level. So it is an ascension ladder. Now I want to go from 7 figures to 8 figures. So how do I do that? But you have to work your way up with the end goal in mind, which is, what am I doing this for? Do I want to make $100,000 a year? Do I want to make $1 million a year? Do I want to have $10 million in my bank account and be able to do whatever I want? What is it you're doing? And then work backwards. Reverse engineer your whole life and think about how the steps it's going to take to get there. Because it's possible. As a matter of fact, it's doable for anyone here. It's just like, what are you going to take? What is it going to take for you to get there? You know, so you definitely have a great starting point here, which is the business that you're out to, business in a box. You just have to apply the principles. And like I said, me and you, whoever's on this call, me and you got the same opportunity everybody else has. It's just how you're going to push it. You understand? So I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, it did very well, and I've been through step 5, and I'm beginning to understand all your concepts of, and that was my main goal of finding out what that was all about. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Timothy. Great question. And yeah, you're at step 5, so you're brand new here. Keep on trucking, stick with your coach, and it's all the picture's going to get clearer and clearer. So welcome, Timothy. Glad you're here. And we do have one more caller in queue, and that is Wendy Bryant. Wendy, you're live on the air. Wendy, you're live. Wendy, I can hear you typing or clicking or doing something, but not hearing your mouth. So please commence speaking. Wendy Bryant. Okay, looks like Wendy is having an issue. Maybe it's just clicking noises because her microphone is broken or something. But we did have 2 more callers join us really quick. We're going to keep these really brief. I am going to take a couple more real quick ones. So let's keep them brief. And our next caller is the 832 area code, but I don't know your name. You're live on the air. Who is this?
This is Giancarlo,
Ian Carlo.
like the baseball player.
All right, Ian Carlo. You're a baseball player?
No, like the baseball player.
Oh, okay. Well, Ian Carlo, not the baseball player. You're live, sir.
Hey, I'm in the car business. I can definitely use these pointers in the car business, correct?
No, absolutely. It works for anything.
Perfect.
So you're free to ask a question, man, if you want to ask something.
No, that was it.
Well, you know what? Let me help you right there. I actually had a couple people that helped some other people in the car business. As a matter of fact, it's funny you mention that because just the other day, and I'm going to tell you the power of this business and particularly video marketing and things like that, lifestyle marketing, so to say. So because of, it's funny, like all this is going to wrap together. It's because of this company, I have a brand new BMW 2017 7 Series right outside my house, and it's beautiful. Got it brand new with 0 miles. I was the first one to own it. There's an M kit. It's all fully loaded. It's great. It's a wonderful car. And it's because of the car incentive program from this opportunity right here that we're on, because they help you pay for your car, because when you become a top earner, that's one of the incentives. So let me wrap it up. So what I'm trying to say is that I had the BMW worked on. I dropped it off at the BMW dealership. They put a wing on it. They changed the kidney grills. You know, that's the way I always was. I always decked out my cars back in the day. I used to have all those tricked out cars. So it's a 2017. There's not much you can do to it. We're getting a little older, so it's not all about the the Lambo doors and all that stuff. You just keep it a little subtle. Just do little nice little things to make the car look nice. You know, I had it debadged in the back, so there's no numbers on it. It looks totally clean and fresh. So anyway, I had the BMW guy drop it off. The salesman came and dropped it off for me at my house, and because he looked out for me and did things extra that I didn't have to pay for because he's just a nice guy. He knows my influence in the business. I said, well, let me do something for you. Let me apply my marketing skills, the things I know, the influential marketing and Facebook. Let's do a video where you drop off the car to me and you have a chance to speak and tell people about yourself and your business, and they can go see you because you have helped me. So as a matter of fact, we did a video. I don't know how many views it got, thousands of views. I didn't run any paid ads to it yet. And anybody who mentioned my name and go see him, they get $1,000 off their quote. So that was pretty cool, right? I mean, but again, you can use these principles, marketing, everything that you're learning here for your own business. Or if you know someone in the car salesman business, you want to help them. I did a video, and what I did was, to break down the philosophy, I used the video, I used the traffic that I'll get from the video to create a lifestyle video, which is, I didn't come out and say, hey, you want to buy this car? This is what you got to do. I put a vision in people where it says the feeling of having your brand new car dropped off to you at your house from BMW. That's like the utmost respect, where they come and they deliver the car to you, hand you the keys, and it's all decked out, got all these beautiful things on it, And the feeling that I had walking out, looking at this car, talking to the salesman, shaking hands, and my wife, she did something funny. She took the key and she drove off after that. So it was the perspective and the feeling that I was trying to put into the viewer's eyes to say, man, I would love to wake up one day, middle afternoon, I don't have to be at work, and have a BMW dropped off in my driveway looking all fresh and clean. You understand what I mean? I just changed the whole dynamics of it. Instead of just, now you take it from that, or someone just says, hey, this is me, and this is, come to this, if you want to own a new car, come to the dealer, here you go. But instead, I just did the whole opposite and put it into the perspective where people can feel what I'm feeling. They can see themselves not being at work at 11 o'clock in the afternoon or 10 o'clock in the morning and having a brand new car dropped off in the driveway and spending the rest of the day driving it around or doing whatever they got to do. So if you can envision that and learn how to get marketing and traffic, you can change your whole business around. Where instead of you selling, you're having people come and they're sharing their stories of they came to see you and you changed their whole life. You helped them with their credit. You help put that person in that new vehicle that they always wanted. And that's how you can change the way you actually approach your marketing and get sales. I hope that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, that most definitely, man. That was right on the dot, right on the dot. Thank you, man.
Cool. No problem. You're welcome, man.
Awesome. Thank you, Ian. We've got a couple more here, Alfredo. And
Sure.
next we have Antoinette from New Orleans. You're live on the air.
Hi, everyone. I'm so glad I got a chance to speak real quick. Alfredo, I'm very grateful for you because you was the very first speaker that I've ever heard once I got into digital altitude.
Oh,
and
nice.
What I wanted to ask you was, in one of your calls, you spoke about having a Facebook group specifically for the people that came up under you. Now, I was never a Facebook person, so once I got on this call, that's how I first heard about you. But I've always longed to be under your Facebook group to just learn from you. So would it be possible for me, or I guess anybody else, to get into that Facebook group that you were speaking of?
You are everybody's lifesaver right now because if you didn't mention that, I probably would have forgot to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in the chat box. I'm going to give everybody the link to my Facebook group. It's called Team Freedom Fighters, and that's who we are. This is everybody who comes into Digital Altitude underneath my organization, and they get to be a part of something. So I'm going to put it right now. I just put it in there. And Daniel's a part of our team. He's actually one of our admin and moderators. He said, you guys, if you join right now, he'll approve you. And you guys have all the opportunity to join the group and just hang out with us because that's what we do. And every Sunday night, I'm going to invite you guys on this call. Every Sunday night, we do our own personal mastermind where we go live on camera. And for 1 hour, usually an hour, 15 minutes, we just speak and we just talk about, we just mastermind. That's it. And masterminds are so important in this business, to just keep your mind thinking, your mind flowing, and get to ask questions and hear from other people. The masterminds are not about me directing the call. I just host it, but you have people that are brand new. You got people that have been in the company for a month or so, and they have success, and they have something they want to share with everyone on that call that's helping them that maybe I don't know about. So it's a great way for us to connect once a week and just talk about what's working, what's not working, and how we can help the next person who just started. So here's the deal. You guys are more than welcome to join the group. And it's a good thing because you were meant to ask me that because I would have forgot that I said I was going to invite people to the group at the end of this call. And once you're in the group, you guys can tag along. We have video challenges that we do. We inspire people. And like I said, once a week we do masterminds. No pitching, no selling. We just kick it with everyone and talk to them about the business. So good thing the link is there so you can go ahead and join the group, and you're more than welcome to be a part of us.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Awesome.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Antoinette, and thank you, Alfredo. And we had Jennifer, who just vanished. Sorry about that. Looks like Wendy's back. Wendy, you're live on the air. Wendy? Okay. So that's not working out for Wendy still. Wendy, you're going to have to figure out your microphone or something. Something's not working for you over there. So one more chance, Wendy. And we're going to wrap up with that. So Q&A session is over. Alfredo, thank you, man. Thank you for all you do. And it's always a pleasure to have some time with you here on our Black Diamond call, and of course you've also hosted On the Rise with us on Wednesdays, where you've shown us some of your Facebook stuff. And everybody, you can always catch the replays of these in our podcast, and of course our video replays where we do our Wednesday night On the Rise webinars. You can catch those in the TV section of your Digital Altitude members site. Of course, tomorrow we're having a special event with our CEO, Michael Force. That's going to be the same time as this call, but just one day later. So that's 9 p.m. Eastern. And, of course, you all should have received an invitation in your email and, of course, also in the Digital Altitude Facebook group to attend that. So make sure you register. It's going to be on a different platform. It's not going to be on this platform. So it's going to be a thing where it's, I know we're going to max it out. Let me just say that. It's going to be maxed out. So before you ask, yes, it will be recorded. So if you're even a minute late to that, you're probably not going to get it. Okay, so you definitely want to be there early, and I will be co-hosting that with Michael tomorrow. So big stuff, big stuff. You definitely want to be there for that. So Alfredo, thanks again, my friend. You're awesome.
Oh, thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
You know
absolutely.
what? You mentioned the Rise call, and we'll schedule another one in the coming month. And I would definitely, if you guys don't mind, I would definitely like to teach some more, strategies on Facebook stuff, because Facebook is always changing. They're always changing their ad platform, and they're adding new features and things, and we got to keep up with it. So, the call I did a while ago, it definitely still works. The strategies work, but there's some new stuff that's there now, and I would love to share it. So we can set up a call sometime for February, and we'll knock that out. If you guys don't mind, I would love to teach some more Facebook stuff.
Absolutely, that'll be beautiful. And of course, this week we've got part 2 of Justin Holland and his Instagram strategies for targeting your ideal customers. So very good, Alfredo, always a pleasure. Everybody, we'll see you here tomorrow morning with Tatiana for our wake-up call, and then again tomorrow evening with our special event with Michael Force. Have a great night, everyone. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.
Thank you. Good night.